So I've been doing this for over a week now, and I do feel overwhelmed. It's not like I'm putting in an insane amount of effort every day, but it's just so much information. Ever since I started playing jazz, I've had this feeling that I don't know enough songs. And in my early years, that actually prevented me from going to jam sessions and things like that. I thought they would just call a song I didn't know, and I would feel embarrassed. And to this day, I still feel that I don't know as many songs as my fellow musicians. I'm also a procrastinator, a dreamer. I overthink and over-prepare, and things just move very slowly. So I thought maybe I can kind of reboot the system, see if I can learn stuff quicker and more casually, you know? It doesn't have to be perfect every time. So my goal is to learn 30 jazz standards that I haven't played before in 30 days. So this is the plan. Let me see if I can show you on the phone. I use Spotify, but any music app can do this, I think, even YouTube. So the first song I want to learn is Easy Living. We choose songs, and usually Spotify is right on the money here. The most popular songs pop up. So I'll choose the first one with Chet Baker, add to playlist, and then if I choose new playlist, very conveniently, Spotify suggests the same name as the song. So press create, and we can go back to the song list. And I'll just continue adding songs to this list. Oh, nice! Here is the Bob Cooper recording. Frank Rosolino plays on this one. Swedish singer Monica Zetterlund. Nice. We can also check, for instance, if there is a J.J. Johnson recording. No, it doesn't seem to be. Alright, so now we have a little list here of songs to listen to. I'll open up iReal Pro. I guess many of you are using this one. Easy Living. And usually the chords are kind of accurate. Different recordings can have different variations here and there. Alright, I've listened to a lot of recordings now, and it seems like A-flat major is the most popular key, with a close second E-flat major. So I'll learn it in A-flat for now. So I made some mental notes while I was listening. Usually when I try to learn a song, I don't look at the chords at all. I just listen to the songs and try to figure it out myself. But we want to move a bit faster this time. So the chord progression in the beginning is very similar to It Could Happen to You. But if we look at iReal again here, in the second bar, they don't always play that second diminished chord. Sometimes it's just a regular dominant chord. And the first phrase of the melody lands on a note that is a major second away from the root of the key. So and is the root, and it moves down a half step to the fifth of the minor chord. That's useful to remember, I think. And the B section moves down a major third. So here we are in A flat major, and the B section is in E natural major. So if I move over to the Genius app, that's also a play long app, just like iReal, but I think the rhythm section is a little bit nicer in this one. So one presentation of the melody and then one chorus soloing, with my eyes closed, of course. So let's see if I will be embarrassed when I walk off stage. That was okay, I guess. But that's the point of this challenge. It's good enough. Let's move on to the next day and the next song. That is Swedish guitar player Gustav Lundgren, and when I saw this Instagram clip, I was like, what is that song? It sounds so familiar, and it's Lazy Bird. I don't think I've ever heard that song outside of the John Coltrane Blue Train album. I found a version with Kurt Rosenwinkel and one with McCoy Tyner. Now this song is supposed to be played pretty fast, so for a trombone player you either need to have your chops burning or find a way to play slower phrases over this fast tempo. John Coltrane does this a bit in his solo, so I actually like this kind of tunes where the chords move away a bit further away from each other. And because there are a lot of 2/5s, I usually start by focusing on the minor chords only. So if you think from the pickup you have A flat minor, and then A minor, C minor, F minor, and so on, and then see where the phrases go from there. You can even, as an exercise, play, for instance, one of my favorite arpeggio cells, if you saw my last video. Could be a fun way to start exploring a song like this. I sometimes like to listen to music in bed before I sleep, and I thought, why not take the opportunity to prepare next day's song? So now I'm listening to Loverman, a ballad that I actually never have played. We have that beautiful version by J.J. Johnson, but also a lot of other classic recordings. Okay, good night. So I've been doing this for over a week now, and I do feel overwhelmed. It's not like I'm putting in an insane amount of effort every day, but it's just so much information. I usually go deep on each song, maybe spend a couple of weeks, and now I'm just rushing through them. So after Loverman, I've learned If I Should Lose You, Social Call, Get Out of Town, 4, You Go to My Head, I Thought About You, After You Gone, and Tune Up. And I'm noticing, since it is so much more information than I'm used to, I have a hard time visually remembering the chords, what they look like. So I'm starting to focus on how the songs sound, how they kind of, feel. And I think that's a good thing. You listen to a song and you kind of get it, or you go through the melody in your head and you understand how the song is put together. And of course, the more songs you learn, the more you see the patterns. There are so many similarities, so you just need to remember what's unique about each song. Also, up until now, I've been on summer vacation, so I've had all the time in the world. It has just come down to my own self-discipline. But now I'm back to work. This is my first work day, so I'm off soon. I have a, regular part-time job, not music related. And today I start late, so I had the time to practice and learn a song before work. But later in the week that might not be possible, and when I get back home I might be too tired. So we'll see. And today is one of those days. I've been working all day, and later tonight I will meet up with a friend that is visiting Stockholm. And before that I need to learn a song, of course. So if I wasn't doing this challenge now and documenting the journey, there wouldn't have been song learning today, I think. But I'm actually kind of inspired. So today it's Little White Lies, I think it's called. So see you in a couple of days. I've been working all week and I'm so tired. But I've still managed to learn a song each day. I haven't practiced much else. No technique or, scale exercises or whatever. I'll get more free time next week, so hopefully I can get back to more maintenance work, But I think what has kept me going is all the inspiring recordings. Most of the songs I pick from an old list of tunes I want to learn, but some I picked up from YouTube. For instance, After You've Gone, I heard on kind of a jam session series called Emmet's Plays. And the tune I've Never Been in Love Before from Dave Pollack's channel. I've also almost completely stopped playing to these mechanical play-along apps because it's so much more fun to play along with the recordings. And today I learned Up Jumped Spring by Freddie Hubbard. A little more complicated tune than your average evergreen, but luckily all the recordings play in the same key. But it has been an interesting journey so far, and I'm excited to see if anything has changed in my mindset when this challenge is done. I have just recorded a video breaking down a pattern from a Michael D solo, and it was so much fun doing something else. I haven't learned the song of the day yet, and earlier today I was like, no, not another song. But then I created a playlist and I started to listen through all the great recordings, and now I'm kind of inspired again. The song of today is What's New. Lots of great recordings, of course, on Spotify, but one that is not on there is, I think, still my favorite. It's this one. Woody Herman Big Band featuring John Fedchock playing this ballad. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I think 30 days is just too much. Maybe 7 or 5 days is more manageable. I don't think I will do this again. During the last days of this challenge, I left Stockholm for the other coast of Sweden, Gothenburg, and a high school reunion. 50 years of music education, that's pretty cool. But of course I took my time and learned the last songs. And now it's 2 weeks after the challenge ended, so I thought it was time to reflect. The first days it was so nice to be more free to practice what I want, and also to listen to music for my own enjoyment again. But what have I accomplished here? Can I confidently perform 30 new songs for a paying audience? No. Maybe a few, but most of them I want to work on some more. But every time you revisit a tune, at least this is true for me, the understanding deepens and you can play more freely and with more imagination. And I have taken that first step on 30 new tunes, and that's pretty cool. And I have had some experiences when I've heard a phrase or a pattern or a chord or something, and instead of putting it on some list of things to do in the future, I can pick up the trombone anytime or sit down at the keyboard just for a few minutes and check something out. And this makes my procrastination soul very happy. It was kind of a tough challenge for me, but I'm very happy I did it. And if you have done something similar, it would be very interesting to hear about it. So share your experiences in the comment section. Check out this video if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I nailed that one.